Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a squat day. For a reminder, for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's get over to the training. High bar squats. I'm going to stick with high bar. I'll discuss in more detail later what's going on with it. You guys notice I got my Texas squat bar in, so if people are looking at the plate math, they might be like, well, wait, what's going on? It's a 55-pound bar. You can go to their website. I've taken a picture of it. You guys can see it is clearly the Texas squat bar, so it's not a 45-pound bar. It's 55 pounds. It's a competition bar. And I felt I wanted a comp bar to squat with, getting ready to do meets again. And you guys will also notice I've adjusted my position. I'm just doing no thumbs over. I'm doing a false grip and pulling down. You know what? Any of that elbow inflammation, completely gone there, no problems. So that's what I need to do for a while. High bar, use that false grip, and I'm going to have to just build my legs. Some people noticed there's a little bit of, again, using that back, the hips are shooting up. What's up with that? In my case, it's because my back is so strong. I've lost muscle in my legs a bit when I was cutting early on in the cut. Also because I had taken out the belt squats and other stuff, and now that I've got a belt squat machine, I'm going to regain it. I'm going to put a lot of focus into my leg. Now people will say quads. No, it's not quads. It's adductors first, quads second. Your adductors are more important to your squat. And I'm talking about a high bar squat. We're not even talking about low bar squat. We're talking about Olympic squatting. Your adductors are slightly more important. So what you're seeing is a leg weakness. Okay. I know people are like, your legs are jacked. What the hell are you talking about? Well, that's just what we're seeing. It is what it is. I'm going to have to get them bigger while I'm continuing to lose body weight. Got to bring up the quads and the adductors. Now, that being said, that was a 3-rep set calculating off of my training max, my estimated training max, coming back to high bar squatting. Obviously, my max is higher than I'm calculating because I was able to get 4 reps. That 4th rep, though, you saw the form degrading. So afterwards, I did 4x5. I was going to do 5x5, and I'm like, you know what? I just did a real work set. Let's only get 5 sets of squats because I want to do 5 sets of belt squats. So we'll count the final set as a work set. Then did a 4x5, all right? 4x5. And, here's the thing. Since I'm using this grip and sticking with high bar, there is 0 shoulder, 0 elbow, any other fatigue at all. Like nothing feels inflamed. Nothing. That's kind of the point I've been making with some of this. This is one of the reasons I'm going to go back to this squat style. Why? Because I can do more volume with it. And if I can do more volume with it, we can build more muscle, we can get stronger at it. Rather than say, hey, what's this best leverage? Let's find the best leverage so I can cut the range of motion a couple inches and still hit depth and everything else. Look, how about I just get stronger? Same thing I'm doing with the close grip. Yeah, it's a longer range of motion. Technically, it's a harder variation. I do better with it. It's easy on my shoulders. All right, there's a point where with masters lifting, you have to accept that chasing certain leverages may not be ideal for your joint longevity anymore. Now you just have to be the strongest guy in your class. That's it. And you can muscle your way through the leverages. Now my deadlift, I still use the best leverages. People notice that really narrow stance and everything. That is using the leverages. But guess what? It's also easy on the hips. That's the whole thing with all of this. I'm going to use the variations that are easiest on my hips and shoulders and build them. So rather than say, hey, let's try to find the absolute best technique to cut range of motion to help with the physics in that regard on some of these movements, no. Which variations can I train without inflaming joints with lower injury risk? That's what we need to do. Oh yeah, I did 5x5 on deadlifts after squatting. On my squat day, I know I have a separate deadlift day. And I did that mainly because I'm too ignorant to know any better, obviously. Obviously, that's why, right? Doesn't matter that I have an elite deadlift. Doesn't matter I have clients with an elite deadlift. I'm just too ignorant to know better. So for the people who criticize it, be like, well, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, you're right. I'm ignorant. And that's why I have elite lifts. But, the joking aside, I feel like I'm at a point in my training where I've got my recovery on point. I can do a little bit more volumes of squatting and deadlifting, as long as these are my only real axial loading lifts. I've pulled everything else out. I'm not doing good mornings. I'm not even going to do standing presses anymore. My upper body days are all on a bench for the most part. They're in traction or they're curls, right? Everything is no load on the spine, or it puts the spine in traction. Upper body day, squatting and deadlifting for the lower body days are the only things that do it. Everything else is traction based. Everything else is traction based. I can get away with it, which means we can get some serious stimulus. Because again, let's talk about even quads. Deadlifts do build your quads. They build the rectus femoris more than the VMO and all of that. They build all that stuff, right? But they build the back, they build the hamstrings. Okay, the deadlift itself is a squat accessory. But here's our big squat accessory. Here's our big one, the belt squat. Particularly for me, because my back is overpowering my lower body on those squats. We saw it with that work set with the 455. Okay. This works the primary movers. This works quads, adductors, glutes. That is what's being worked. Back is put into traction. We can add more volume. And notice again, 5x5. And I've used the heaviest weight I've ever used really for this setup. And notice I'm using the sort of stance I use for a high bar squat here, so that I can get deep. And then of course I'm doing sled drag several days a week again now for longer distances. But again, we're going to get into do all these fives. I'm going to put a ton of mechanical tension now. A lot of mechanical tension with short bursts, but with a lot of volume of it on these muscles. But this, now I'm getting deep. We're getting that deeper movement, and we're doing it on all of it. That's going to help me power out of the bottom of those squats. Okay, my plyometrics will probably help there too. Started doing box jumps again. Okay, on off days. So I do it to warm up, actually. I do it before I squat or deadlift. I do some box jumps. Doing a little bit of box jumps, that'll help also develop that speed strength out of the bottom. And that'll help prevent those hips from shooting up, right, and making my back compensate. Now, that doesn't mean we want to skip the back, though, or the hamstrings. Now, this works all the support musculature, just like the deadlift works a lot of it. This works all the support musculature. This also helps build the deadlift. I decided for now, the reverse hyper, as much as I like it, I might stick to it to just restoration. Going to mess with some real lightweight high rep sets a couple times a week, just kind of mess through the week on it. It's really how I'm going to treat it. I'm going to treat it like an ab exercise, the same way I do abs, for just a little while. And I want to focus on these other movements. I want to get some more novel training response. I pushed reverse hyper so hard and so hard and so hard. And as much as I love it, I feel like that could still lead to overuse. And I feel like I may have kind of maxed out my potential for a bit. I need to rotate some stuff. This fits the bill perfectly. We still put our back into traction. We're in traction at the bottom. So I'm upping the weight. Went up to a 45-pound plate. Did 4 sets of 8. This works my hamstrings. Works my erectors. Support muscles for the squat. Primary movers for the deadlift. Hey, but if we don't even count the deadlifts as quad and adductors, which technically they are, we did 10 sets for quads and adductors between the squatting and the belt squats. That's a lot. What about hamstrings, erectors? Well, 9 sets here. It's a lot. We'll get 10 on the deadlift day. And then I finished up with a set of neck extensions. I've never done these on camera. I'm like, let me just finish up my day by doing one of my sets on camera, because I have said I do neck extensions. Some people were unaware that I've been doing these a long time. And I've said it before, but I've never done a set on camera, so I thought I would finish up just doing a 12-rep set with a 55-pound plate for you guys. And just put it up here in the blog so people can say they've seen it. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.